Hello and welcome back to The Legend of Heroes Trails in the Sky. We have found the missing airliner. However, we still don't really know what to do next. So the bandit hideout... Oh. Okay, well, the bandit hideout is presumably in the mountains somewhere where they couldn't land a large ship like this. But anyway, something's about to happen here. This is the military, right? These are the good guys? Huh? What the heck? Great, now this was something I did not expect. I wonder if we should be glad, since they saved us the trouble of having to contact them. We have found a suspicious armed group. Put your hands in the air, all of you. What is this world coming to? A woman and two kids are the Sky Bandits? Though the girl does look shifty. Hey now, that's just rude. And who are you calling Sky Bandits? Can't you see this shiny emblem on my chest? Bracer emblem, huh? I hope you don't think for a moment something like that proves your innocence. Let's just point our bayonet at the guy as he's walking past. That's a good idea. General Morgan? Why are you here? After looking over the reports of my men, I found this place to have been insufficiently investigated, so I came to see for myself. Who would have thought the lot of you were conspiring with the Sky Bandits? I want to get you to stop with the accusations, General. We happen to find this place one step ahead of your men. If that's the truth, then why don't you tell me where the Sky Bandits are? Are the hostages inside that airliner? We almost had the Sky Bandits, but they managed to escape, and there are no hostages to be found here. Looks like the truth has come out. It was likely you notified the Sky Bandits to let them know we were coming. Wait a minute here. How about you cut with the crap? My thoughts exactly. Alright men, take them into custody. Okay, well this wasn't how I was expecting to start this episode. We got the obligatory prison break sequence now? I say obligatory, but I mean there's so many games that don't have them. There are also a lot of games that do, though. The General will be questioning you himself on the morrow. If your innocence is proven, then you'll be released in 2 or 3 days. Oh, lovely. Okay. But for the time being, this cell will give you a place to cool your heels. This is not even funny. Tossing us in a place like this without even listening to a word we have to say? If the army managed to arrest the Sky Bandits, then I'm sure we'd have our names cleared. But with the way things are at the moment, that may not be possible. Huh? Why not? Remember what the Sky Bandit leader we fought in the old mine said, right? He said, "This can't be right, you're not supposed to be here this early." If I remember correctly. Now that you mention it, he did say that, didn't he? You're not trying to tell me that he meant the army by that, are you? I don't know for sure, but I would bet that's what he meant. Which means that Sky Bandits have a mole in the army. Or a collaborator who's leaking information. That's what you wanted to say, isn't it, Joshua? Yeah. Well, if that's the case, they'll never get caught, which means we're the only ones that stood a chance of nabbing them. Now we're stuck in here. I wonder how your father would get around this little setback. My. Well, don't you all seem to be in a bit of a fix. Huh? Did you just say something, Joshua? No, I didn't say anything. It came from the cell next door. It's gonna be the Bard, isn't it? It almost sounds familiar. Oh, how could you say something so heartless? My lustrous voice should be recognizable to anyone. Indeed, okay. Could this unfounded self-confidence and tone of absurd narcissism belong to... It's you, isn't it, Olivier? You do remember my dulcet chords. Okay, Olivier, I forgot his name. Yeah. Well, he was in our party briefly, for a while, so... It would be very, very unusual for that to be the only instance that we have to party up with him in the entire game. So maybe he'll become a regular member from here on out. Be nice to have a 4th member. To think that we meet again in a place like this. Seems that we are bound by destiny. Well, why are you here? I thought we took you to Bosse. And now you're locked up in a place like this? What the heck did you do? Come now, let's not worry about all the little details, shall we? I have my reasons, which are deeper than the deepest ocean and higher than the highest peak. Both of those things simultaneously, huh? I'm definitely not asking now. I'm sure we just get tired while you talked our ears off. What a coincidence, Estelle. I was just thinking the same thing. So there you have it. We don't really care to know. You talk so much that I'd probably be an old woman by the time you were done, and I'm not ready for wrinkles yet. Ah ha ha, come on now, let's not be like that. I'll fill you in on all the details of the tragic incident which befell me. Didn't you listen, dummy? We don't want to hear about it. It all began after we parted ways. I did some window shopping in the Bosse Market and then moved on to the Antarose restaurant. You see, once I had eaten to my heart's content, I began to play the grand piano to then feed my artistic soul. Okay, well, there was the guy in the restaurant who seemed a bit distraught about something shortly after we left with Olivier. And upon doing so, the restaurant manager was overcome by my skill, so I was asked to stay and work as the professional pianist for the restaurant. That's great and all, but I thought you were supposed to be a lutist. Ah, a musical genius is not limited to just one instrument. Anyway, back to my story. After negotiating a few of my own conditions, I accepted the job offer. Those conditions were, of course, food and wine for free every day instead of Mira. I don't know how to put it, but that's very you, Olivier. Yet I'm not sure how that has anything to do with you getting thrown in jail. Oh, well, this is where the real sob story begins. That night, I had been enjoying a plate of sautéed duck I had had the chef prepare, but the blood sauce which had been used was a little too overbearing for my palate. Consequently, I began to feel that normal red wine was not satisfying enough. The more you talk, the more I want to hit you. But go on, I'm curious in spite of knowing better. Well, so I borrowed a bottle of wine which seemed good from the cellar. Something called Grand Chardonnay from the year 1183. Grand Chardonnay from the year 1183? That's the legendary vintage wine that was auctioned off in the Royal City. Oh, aren't you well informed? I heard a rumor about it too, so of course I was interested in having a drink for myself. Auctioned off? How much are we talking about here? From what I heard, it went for somewhere in the neighborhood of 500,000 Mira. 500,000 Mira? For just one bottle? That's out of this world. And you didn't, did you, Olivier? Ah, such a needless question. Of course I opened the bottle and had a sip. Its sweet-smelling fragrance tickled my nostrils. Its luxurious, mellow taste caressed my throat. And can you believe what else? A rose-tinted vignette of time and space existed within that very bottle. I don't think I can listen to this any longer. Yeah, my ears are bleeding from listening to such stupidity. I am completely dumbfounded. The sad thing is that after taking a sip of such excellent wine, I began to feel the food was lacking. And as I was having the chef cook me up something else to match the wine, the restaurant manager returned. Since I'm not a stingy fellow, I cordially invited him to join me for a drink. But for some odd reason, he got rather upset. In fact, he got so steaming mad that his face looked like a ripe tomato. And before I could say another word, a group of soldiers came filing in. And, well, one thing led to another, and dramatic fade out. I can't say another word about this tragedy of being dragged all the way here without coming to tears. So let us all weep together as you sympathize with my dilemma. Yeah, not so much. Oh, idiot. Pardon? What, do my ears deceive me? I could have sworn I heard, some sleeping sounds, and even an assuredly misheard idiot coming from your cell. Are you listening? This is where the story gets really interesting. You see, several further trials awaited me after I was brought here. Hello? Are you listening? We gotta put up with this guy for 2 to 3 days until we're proven innocent, I suppose. Well, assuming that ever happens. Hey, you three, get up. I'm tired. What's wrong? What? Are you trying to tell us we're being interrogated this early in the morning? It's a little early even for me. No, it's just the opposite. You're being released. Huh? Why all of a sudden? Is there a reason for this? Yes, I'd like to consider myself that reason. Okay, so the mayor came and intervened. Mayor Maybell? Well, what an unusual place to be meeting you. I'm really sorry about everything that's happened to you. But don't worry, your names have been cleared. I don't completely agree with everything, but this is a request coming from Maybell herself. You'd better remember to thank her. So you mean Mayor Maybell stood up on our behalf? No, that's not exactly it. I just explained your situation to General Morgan. Our situation? Yes. I have one question for the both of you. Are you really the children of Cassius Bright? Yes, that's right. This is Estelle Bright, and I'm his adopted son, Joshua. I see. Now that you mention it, the girl does slightly resemble Lena. You knew my mother? Yes, I enjoyed your mother's cooking on several occasions when I visited your home in Roland. Why, in fact, we even met once when you were just a baby. Now wait just a minute. You're a personal acquaintance of my dad's? I knew that he was in the military before, but... I don't know Cassius Bright the Bracer. The only Cassius I know is the one from the service. He was a rare strategist. Strategist? Dad? I just can't imagine what he saw in the Bracer Guild. It makes me angry just thinking about it. You'll have to excuse me. Well, what's wrong with him? Seems like your father was a brilliant officer in the military. I've heard from the general that he tried several times to get your father to change his mind about retiring. I didn't know that. Somehow it feels hard to believe. However, if that's the case, the general's hatred for bracers may stem from Cassius leaving the army. From the vexation of being left by one of his most promising men. I get the same impression. So what you're saying is, our lives are such a pain because of Dad? That dirty, rotten scoundrel? How about we return to Bosse now? With the airliner being found, the situation has taken a new turn, so there are a number of things I'd like to discuss with you. Oh, sure. Is something the matter? I'm definitely ready to get out of here, but it feels like we're forgetting something. Now that you mention it, what could it be? Oh, how callous people can be at times. How could you forget about a companion who spent the night with you in a cold, hard cell? How lamentable, how pitiful. Fine, be that way, I shall wither away, friendless and hungry, alone in this dark purgatory. Is he still here? Yeah, I completely forgot about him. I'm sorry to say this, but there's not much we can do for you. Is he the musician I heard about? The one who chugged that bottle of Grand Chardonnay without a second thought? Ah, indeed, that is I. Yes, yet, my fair lass, I would be heartbroken if you took my intentions the wrong way, for you see, I perceived it as an advance payment for the exquisite services that I was about to render. Haha, you're quite the interesting character. Alright, I'll see what I can do to bargain with the general for your release. Really? Truly? You would do such a kind service for a man such as myself? I think that may be asking a bit much. If the restaurant takes this to trial, there's going to be a lawsuit. At least a lawsuit. Well, there's no need to worry about that. You see, the owner of the restaurant is me. Huh? And that Grand Chardonnay was the very one I bid on. That being the case, I'm fairly confident there won't be any other problems over the matter. Can't believe you were released. It's like a stroke of bad luck. Please don't lay on the compliments so thick. However, it pains my soul that I partook of such a fine wine without paying a single mira. Shall I play the piano in the restaurant per our contract to remedy that? I think I'm gonna have to pass on that. After what happened, I think it would be a bit awkward having you back there. I, for one, don't think he'd mind a bit. Yeah, he sure does seem to have some thick skin. Let's just think of this as an unfortunate incident for the both of us. But I don't think I can just let things go like this. Let's see. Seems like you're investigating something at the moment, right? How about I lend my assistance in return for the wine? Huh? Well, that does sound interesting. Could I ask you to join these bracers in their work? Ah, could you ever? So it's settled. Let our new working relationship bloom like a magnolia at the height of spring. Hold on a sec. Well, what did we do to deserve this? Your general weirdness aside, simply having an amateur like you around is honestly going to be a pain. Are you confident that you won't be a drag on our work? Or our sanity? Well, I'm somewhat confident in my marksmanship and magic. But of course, I'd be distressed if you tried to list my music genius in the same group. That's the kind of line that gets me really worried. But maybe we could use an extra hand. As long as we can't count on the army to help us out, I have the feeling that we'll be short on manpower. Well, alright then. We'll use you for what you're worth. However, if we do happen to conclude that you're not worth your weight, you're dumped from the party. Are you going to be okay with that? Aha, of course I don't mind. I'd never let you down, so please be reassured. Well, my expectations of you are pretty much at rock bottom anyway, so I know you won't let me down. I'm glad things are settled between you all. But before you go, there's something I need to tell you. Tell us? Actually, the town did seem pretty noisy as we were headed here. What happened? Truth be told, last night there was a large-scale burglary in Bosse's South Block. The weapon shop and Orbital Factory were targeted, as were a number of private residences. What? So was this the work of the Sky Bandits? It's unknown at this time, but it seems highly probable. A unit of the Royal Army is currently conducting an investigation. I see. Guess we better do an investigation of our own, then? Yes, I'd like to formally request that you do just that. I'll send a payment over to the Guild for the work you've done so far. Please make use of the money for your current investigation expenses. I have a feeling that the army's gonna get in our way again, but I guess when that happens, it happens. Whether they get in our way or not, I don't think we should be forthcoming with the army about any information we come across, because if there's really a spy in their midst, they'll just leak it to the Sky Bandits. Though I'm reluctant to say it, I also think it's for the best to keep quiet about our findings. Anyway, let's act with prudence. Alrighty, my bosom companions, shall we head to the South Block? Look, buddy, who made you king of the show? Alright, so I think your equipment was de-equipped. Yeah, it was de-equipped, but then... Yeah. So your gear was de-equipped, but then you were given a new set of it when you rejoined us. Interesting. Okay. No. No. Well, let's at the very least make you poison resistant. I don't know if I need you to be earth-based. It seems like a weird thing. Hasn't been terribly useful. Max EP and Dex. I did. Oh, right. Everything goes in one line for you. That's actually quite handy. Okay. Right. Okay, this one has the other stuff in there. I was wondering, like, how do you have shadow abilities? But no, this is one shadow sepith. Or time, I guess. Temporal shadows seem to be the same thing in this game. It's kind of weird. Alright, well... we could make you a healer. Okay, we can't have 2 HPs. We could put a defense in there, we could put an impede. Action just makes you faster. I think we'll just do that. +1 move seems not that useful for somebody with a ranged weapon. But yeah, we'll just do that. Are there no restrictions on any of your slots? So you're gonna be... That's interesting. So based on the orbment here, it looks like Olivier is set up to be the best mage possible. Given that everything is in a single line from the center. And what I mean by that is, if you see this, like, Charizard's is split, you have the one node that goes off from the center in a different direction. But in the case of Olivier, everything is in one line, so it just stacks nicely, and there are no restrictions on what we put in any slot. So, yeah, I think that's the best we could possibly get. Well, okay. One advantage to this is that you could have... Well, no, because even if you have the central one building upon two different chains, if you had the other one... Yeah, no, yeah, Olivier has the best possible... oh man. Orbment. With our party being this long, we're gonna have a harder time running past monsters. I've recommended to the mayor that she take a break from her labors, but she has started that As she stated that alleviating the citizens' concern and bringing back peace to Bosse comes first. Couldn't be more happy that Mayor Maybelle has matured into such a fine young woman, and I wish she would take better care of herself sometimes. I have a female friend by the name of Murano. Her father was aboard the airliner that went missing. I am sure there are a lot of other people also worried about family members who still haven't returned. There's a high possibility that these burglars and sky bandits may be one and the same. I hope this investigation can yield some pertinent information about this group. There's a high possibility that... yeah, okay, same thing. Oh, yeah, he's... oh, okay, he moved over here. Oh, there you are. I heard you all had a stroke of bad luck. Mayor Maybelle received a message from the Bracer Guild about what happened. I guess it was kind of unavoidable, but I'm still ashamed to say it happened. Well, it was out of our control to begin with, and I can't say that the Royal Army was necessarily at fault either. Yeah, whatever. And if any of you Sky Bandits can hear me, you just wait until I get my hands on you. Well, I guess we haven't done this in a while, so it's time to go running around talking to everybody again. Especially in South Block. We'll do that after. It's odd to see the border garrison directly involved instead of bracers. I wonder if it has anything to do with the recent burglaries and missing airliner. Oh, well, we can block traffic a lot more effectively now. That's good, I guess. I hope these burglaries and the missing airliner incident get resolved soon. Nothing good has happened around here for the last several months. Okay, nothing new to say here. South Block burglary. Yeah, better investigate. And it looks like those other two might be finished, so we can go to the Bracer Guild and get payment. Fanny says she wants to dine at the Anti-Rose again, but this just isn't a place we can afford all the time. I'm gonna have to work a part-time job and save up some money. Whenever I eat good food, I feel so happy. The much-praised food at the Anti-Rose was beyond my wildest expectations. I'd love to indulge myself there at least once a year. Come back. You're the third person that walks in a circle. With all the soldiers flooding the South Block, there's not much room to do any shopping there. I had planned to go to see some workman engraving work, but I guess I'll go to the Bosse Market instead. Whoa. Aren't you... No, I'm sure of it. You're that guy from before. What's up, my good managerial sir? Thanks for the meal last time. Oh my. Didn't I have you arrested already? I guess I'm gonna have to report you again. Now, let's not do anything brash, my friend. You guys are actually quite blessed. To have an owner with the eyes to recognize the value of an artful man such as myself is quite wondrous, truly. And she is an exquisite beauty, is she not? Like a flower in bloom. The future of Anti-Rose is as bright as a field bathed eternally in the noontime glow of a crisp spring day. I can't believe you'd defy the owner like that. What kind of manager are you? Tisk tisk. Dear me, consider this a managerial failure on my part. My sincerest apologies to the owner. Can we get Olivier to play? No. Stars, whenever a man in uniform shows up, I can't help but think of the past. It's been a long road for us. Just pushing your goods on me without ever sweetening the pot does not make for successful negotiation. Given the circumstances, I think a discount is entirely appropriate. Are these two still at it? I just can't make a deal here. Why can't I close the deal to save my life? Is it my haircut? Bad body odor? Great ideos. Do I smell? I'm not sure what to do now. My lovely Grand Chardonnay was down completely while I was out on break. The owner simply laughed it off, but I do feel responsible for not safeguarding it better. Not long ago, a very important, very valuable bottle of wine was completely downed by a customer. A non-paying customer, mind you. So the first time in a while that I've heard the manager let out his, special cry of dismay. It's a shriek, really. Sounds just like a little girl, or someone who's been kicked very smartly in the bagpipes. It's, rather descriptive. Like anywhere else, this place was reduced to rubble during the 100 Days' War, but it was also the quickest to rebuild when it was over. Of course, there's a reason for that. The merchants all got together and pooled their profits to fund the revival effort. Well sure, bossy merchants all love the freedom to earn and spend at will, but when push comes to shove, we'll band together every time. I'm proud to have lived my life as a bossy merchant. I don't care much for soldiers. They tend to be boorish and overbearing. Why must they behave so? Why can't they just act their ages? Of course, I know they're not all like that, but still. I do understand where Marion is coming from, but I find it hard to agree with her assessment. Although they're just soldiers like everyone else, I find the members of Her Royal Highness's personal guards to be most polite and understanding. Well, they're probably better paid. Better qualified, too. I heard a shrill scream from the manager the other day. The stuff nightmares are made of, that. Wonder what happened this time. I often hear that subdued shriek from him when new staff members arrive, actually. So I suppose there's nothing to worry about. Our prized Grand Chardonnay was drunk, in full, free of charge, and the owner seemed not to care at all. She's about my age, so how can she have her head so high in the clouds about this? The manager, by contrast, practically swallowed his tongue. I've never seen anyone turn such an unholy shade of red. Well, I guess such an unnatural color is a pretty natural reaction, all things considered. Poor guy. Stolen ring. Okay, new quest. Launa? I don't know where that would be. I was burglarized the other day, and my jeweled ring was found to be among the missing items. It's quite valuable to me, so if anyone happens to find it, please let me know. I live on Bosse's South Block. Alright. Oh, are you three back already? You gave me quite a surprise. It was unprecedented to hear that some of our bracers have been taken into custody during an investigation. That General Morgan, I tell you. We're sorry to make you worry like that. Oh, never mind that. I'm just glad you're all back safe. I was even considering protesting in the Royal City through our main branch. But Mayor Maybell managed to smooth everything out before that could happen. Was it really such a big deal? Think about it, Estelle. In the Liberal Kingdom, the Bracer Guild's right to investigate crimes is recognized by law. Therefore, the General's actions would be in direct defiance of the system of rules that governs this kingdom. Well, at least things have settled down as a result of this. We've received payment from Mayor Maybell for your investigative efforts thus far. Alright. I got a few more bonus BPs there. Current rank, still 6th class. Keep up the good work and be careful out there. Alright, so now if we look at this, yeah, those have been finished. Hey, a new face, like somebody who actually has a face. It's nice to see you, Sherazade. If I remember right, the last time we saw each other was during training, right? Analysts, huh? Well, if it isn't Analysts. It's certainly been a while, hasn't it? So how has your swordsmanship been coming along? Have you started mastering the use of that weapon? Please don't even ask. Oh, please don't even ask. I'm still working on that. Can't believe you guys were tossed into prison without a shred of conclusive evidence. Wonder what that old bearded general was thinking. Well, it turned out to be one of those situations of being in the wrong place at the wrong time. I'm just glad you're alright. Now, this is a little off subject, but I heard that your new recruits were Cassius Bright's kids. Yes, that's right. I'm Estelle Bright. And I'm Joshua. We're not actually related by blood, though. I'm his adopted son. I see. So you're Cassius's... I don't think that you'll be super bracers like he is, just because you're his kids. But I'm excited to have the chance to meet you in person like this. So I guess she knows Dad too, huh? Looks that way to me. Are you going to be a future party member, or are you just going to be a recurring character who has a face? Hard to know. Or a one-off character who has a face, I mean... I doubt it, but we've met a bunch of those already too. I don't have anybody in the party who uses swords. I guess Joshua kind of does. He's, I guess, twin daggers. It seems like the airliner landed in Rouen. And we've got the Royal Army's patrol ships here in Bosse. I wonder if they're here to investigate the string of burglaries. Probably. Only flights for the counterclockwise looping Cecilia have resumed. All those passengers who are boarding, please make your way to the gate. Okay, well, air traffic is back under control. That's good. Or rather, back in action. That airship isn't it one of the patrol ships which belong to the Royal Army? Speaking of Army patrol ships, they were used in the war 10 years ago and are famous for achieving great military results. Airships are just awesome, aren't they? The Cecilia, who's been standing by in Rouen, has arrived. And what's more, it appears that the patrol ships from Leston Fortress have come too. I'd like to say this is the most excited I've been in a while, but I'm feeling a little rusty. And you're also blocking the path to the ship, but I guess we don't have a ticket anyway, or really any reason to be going somewhere else at the moment. Oh, whoops, got the sign, not the person. I'd better take care of the basic inspections for the patrol ships while the boss is looking over the Cecilia. He's gonna blow his top again if I don't hurry and get my work done. Even if I'm busy or not, I'm always getting yelled at. Alright. Looks like the bandits had enough sense to know we'd be a lousy target. Do more harm than good to attack us. There are a lot of larger shops and shopkeepers in the South District, but once the sun goes down, the roads are practically deserted. If we got raided, all they'd find are a bunch of leftover ingredients, and I think only a mouse would be happy with a haul like that. The ancient dragons that lived before the Great Collapse. It almost seems as if they removed themselves from this land of their own volition. Foreshadowing. I hear the Southern Shopping District got trashed by bandits. It's all because Bosse is rich. You get money, you get robbed. Been that way for as long as I can remember. And right, we have... Well, we don't have any of these in our inventory, but we do have the recipes already, so... all we really needed. Seems my workshop was attacked by the bandits as well. Have they no shame? I'm a bit concerned about one of my workers, a man named Nigel. Sure hope he's okay. I'm sure glad that our... What are you looking at that table? I'm sure glad that our tail here is able to walk through NPCs, even if they can't walk through us. In the past, employees worked together in an effort to gain customer satisfaction. But the way young kids think these days sure has changed. In one way or another, things often don't go as expected. Curious? I don't care what the manager says. Today I'm leaving on time and going shopping. I need to blow off some steam from the last time he made me work overtime. But just think, with that overtime, you'll be able to do more shopping later. Unless you're always working during shop hours. That's an issue that I run into sometimes. There are some chores where I actually have to take time off from work in order to get them done, just because I'm working and their hours aren't that great. Okay, we've already talked to everybody here. So that leaves the chapel, the market, and then the south block. Okay. Why do military personnel have to be so arrogant? Racers are much nicer, and that's why I like them. Seems to be rather noisy outside. I wonder if something happened. So I wonder if this is a kind of a difference between Japanese and Korean culture. The military, or if it's just kind of a world thing. It could be just an in-world description of the military in this place. But my encounters with Korean military have all been really pleasant. So... although we're trying to conduct worship services here, it certainly is loud outside. This town never stops being noisy all year long. Now that I think about it, Japan doesn't have mandatory military service, do they? I guess that might be part of the difference. If everybody has to do it, then... I don't know. Anyway. It doesn't look like there's anything in particular on sale at any of these stores today. But this is no time to shirk my duties. This is not for the future. This is for the future of my home budget. And who knows? There may just be a bargain in here somewhere. Looks like we've got some members of the Royal Army here in the market. I wonder if there's some sort of trouble. You haven't heard about the South Block? Everybody's talking about it. Oh, we have a lot of money. I don't think I've ever used any of these, but just kind of as a general rule of thumb, I like to keep 5 of most revival items on me at most times. Just in case I happen to need them. It appears that we've got the army coming and going here in town now. I can't stand that repugnant group with their pretentious attitudes. I wonder if my mother wants to see my father. Sometimes I can see this look of loneliness on her face. Right, no camera angle here. My husband was the one who said, "Let's start this business to begin with." It's right at the last minute, he shoved everything on me and ran back to the village by himself, leaving me to shoulder the burden. What in the world was he thinking when he cut and ran like that? No, I can see everybody's stats all at once here. It's actually kind of nice. Olivier's defense is pretty good, honestly. No, we're not getting a laundry pole. Okay. Oh, those are expensive. We'll buy one more of those. Alright, insulating tape is another repair item, so we'll go up to 5. Or, status curing item. Would I want the work helmet? It might be more useful than some of the other stuff that I've got, honestly. We'll buy one. My mom caught me sneaking into the market and yelled at me. But you're still here. I sure wish the shop owner would take better care of the antique books. Maybe I should go put in a word or two about that. Was that you say? The city was hit up by some burglars? What a despicable bunch, trying to make a profit stealing from others. I sure hope someone hurries up and catches these crooks. Still nothing new there. I've heard rumors that the army found the missing airliner. I wonder what happened to my fiancée. And what about the other passengers? Due to airliner flights being cancelled, I've had way more than my fill of shopping. Looks like my husband's about to have a heart attack after seeing how much I bought. Looks like those flights have started back up again. Now we can finally head to Rouen. I've really got to start keeping an eye on my wife's shopping habits. Personally, I think people should live a little more modestly than my wife does. The girl working here at the confectionery shop has been looking a little blue recently. I wonder if she's worried about something. Some burglars broke into my house last night. Unfortunately, at that time, only my wife and daughter were at home. Though no harm came to them, they were rather shaken up from the whole ordeal. My wife sent me off with a smile this morning, but I'm still worried about them in the house. Red scarf? Only defense +2, so not as good as the work helmet. Same price, though. Interesting. Weren't there supposed to be soldiers here? I didn't see any. There were a bunch of scary men outside. Did something happen? I hear there's some burglaries in the South Block. All of the well-established shops are situated on that street. Okay, we don't have any use for that yet, but we have some. Yeah, I guess we're probably fine. Meat, vegetables, fish. I wonder what I should make for supper tonight. I've got to think about what to do with the side dish, whether we have to deal with burglars, the Royal Army, or whatever. I wonder if the Queen would ever entertain the idea of making a holiday where we don't have to think about side dishes. I really don't know what the point of that would be, but okay. You don't want to make the side dishes, just don't do it. The westward-bound airliner has finally resumed flights. Now I'll finally be able to stock up on vegetables from Roland. Alright, now it's time to stock up and sell, sell, sell. Now we got a lot of potatoes. This has been a common drop from several enemies, so that's probably why. Unlike these two, which we haven't been getting as much recently. Did your prices actually go down? I decided just to buy some more. Some more onions, although I guess the sandwiches aren't that good, honestly, at this point. The HP is just too low. Oh, soldiers are down here, okay. I can't believe these sky bandits managed to circumvent our search and just walked right into town and burglarized a bunch of places. We were really outdone this time. Okay, before I forget... Well... What's the lowest defense? You... Okay, you get a work helmet. And that earring can go to Olivier since he's going to be a mage. Yeah, it prevents seal. Wait. No, I've got that backwards, don't I? Anyway, I'm still gonna make that change. But seal. Seal cannot attack or use crafts and S-crafts. Yeah, okay, yeah, and then it's mute that you can't use arts. So what I want is I want him to have the anti-mute, but... well. Are you the bracers we heard about? Since the mayor has asked you to look into things, I have no choice but to allow it. Just don't get in the way of the army's investigation. Damn it! Our shop got ripped off by a bunch of thieving criminals. And they took off with every last one of my pricey goods, too. Why did this have to happen to me at a time when there are hardly any goods around to begin with? I mean... still have stuff we can buy. Stun Rod. That would be a significant upgrade. For Estelle. And I think I'm going to stop being so cheap about the weapons, because... I'm probably gonna find upgrades very shortly, but anyway, we'll just do it this way. Plus 10 for Sherazard as well. Armor-wise, oh wow, the armor vest is an upgrade. The leather jacket is significantly better. Okay, we're gonna buy 2 of those. Also buy work boots, I guess. Prevents poison. Prevents blind. Prevents freeze. Prevents sleep. Prevents seal. You don't have one that prevents mute. Alright. Prevents sleep. Probably be fine. Alright, let's equip some stuff. Stun Rod. Yeah, that was a significant boost there. You didn't need any upgrades at all, did you? Yeah, you had all the good stuff. You get... it's an upgrade there, and an upgrade there, and an upgrade here. Let's see, plus 7, plus... oh, okay, that was a waste of money. Alright, I guess for 1 defense, buying 1500. Oh well. Obviously this isn't an optimal playthrough. It looks like the store was hit by the burglaries as well. I guess this isn't the time to be talking about business deals. My factory! My factory and all my goods, they're gone! I've got to report this to either the Army or the Bracer Guild, ASAP. Now, hold on just a minute. Rather one of these groups saw what was written on that stolen ledger. Yikes, I'd be in a world of hurt. Not enough to open anything, probably. 20... and yours is going to be expensive. 200, yeah. Because it's at the end of the line. Alright, and there were no quartz that we wanted, right? We were considering the Impede 2 for a while, but then I realized it was 300 wind. 300 wind Sepith for that. Oh, no. Yay, this one turned out really cute! Neil, is this how you wanted this one? Yeah, sure, something like that. However, we really got screwed, you know that? Hmm? Good afternoon. Are you working on another story? Well, see, this is one of the advantages of wandering around talking to everybody. We just ended up getting a new cutscene here that we could have missed. Or maybe we'd get directed here later, who knows. Looks like you two are on the trail of Scoop again. Hey, it's you kids. Oh, Stella and Joshua. Boy, am I glad to see that they let you out of the clinker. Yeah, I heard all about you kids getting arrested by the army up at the old mine. You certainly had me worried. Why are you acting like you had nothing to do with it? It was your info that led us to the village. Hey now, what kind of face is that? Don't tell me you blame us. Did you go and check out the abandoned mine yourselves? Yeah, we did yesterday, but it was after you all had already been hauled off. You could have had a really great shot of your arrest if we had been there. It really guts me that we missed such a perfect opportunity for a great shot. I swear, you people in the news business. But anyway, I was wondering if you thought this looked like the handiwork of the Sky Bandits. It sure looks that way to me. Seems that the army is sniffing around for clues, too. But to be honest, it looks like there's nothing to be found here anymore. I see. That does make things a bit more difficult. Well, Mr. Reporter, why don't you let us ask you this then? You know from whence the Sky Bandits entered town? According to witness statements, they were seen leaving through the west gate. Well, that's awfully strange. The mayor's residence and Bosse Market are right through the west gate, and it seems like attacking those two places would be far more lucrative. When you put it that way, that makes a lot of sense. But if you don't mind me asking, who the heck are you anyway? Ah, I'm glad you asked. I'm Olivier Lenheim, a wandering bard and gifted musician. I'm sure you've heard rumors about me, right? Oh, right, you're the guy who drank wine without paying at that classy restaurant. Takes guts to stiff such a big bill. It's an honor to meet you, sir. Aha, you're making me blush. I'm ready for my interview any time, so please don't hesitate to ask. Wow, really? I'm getting a headache just listening to this crap. These two are very much alike. I'm not even going to ask how this guy wound up with the rest of you. That would be for the best. Next to your shenanigans, the pages of the next issue are going to be filled with some real gripping headlines. Let me know if you get any other scoops. The newest model of camera on display here was stolen. You think the Sky Bandits have an interest in photography? I wonder if that'll be important. Oh, yeah, there was a... Oh. We still can't walk into that corner, but okay. Yeah, there's this display case there, earlier. Wow, it looks like the burglars made off with nearly everything. I could have sworn that my boss locked up last night. It seems that the group of Sky Bandits in the old mine consisted of 2 females and a male. Rumor has it that they've even got children in the mix. What, those people weren't Sky Bandits? Random grammar Nazi thing to say here. Male and female are adjectives, man and woman are nouns. So yeah, a male and a female would not technically be correct. There's probably still some important information we haven't gathered. We should continue to ask around a bit longer and see what we can come up with. Oh, you did just mess with the camera. Well, maybe, I don't know. I wasn't planning on leaving anyway, I just wasn't paying attention to where I was going, because I was caught up by grammar. Alright. I was shocked when I heard about the South Block being hit by burglars. Rana's mother was here alone, you see. Fortunately, this house was untouched in the burglaries, but it's at times like this when it makes you feel uneasy when there's no man at home. I'm just glad that Murano brought Simon over to watch the house. Now we've got burglars running amok in the city? I swear, what's happening to Bosse? I'm just glad they left this house alone, though I'm baffled as to why. They certainly didn't do their homework on this city. You're the mayor's friend, right? Did you mention that? Okay, well, we'll go in this house. I'm not trying to be rude, but this is an official investigation. Move it along. I'm trying to ask a few questions here. Would you mind getting out of the way? Hey, you there. Okay, I guess that was the thing that we needed to do. Okay, so we probably needed to get both the scene with Neil and Dorothy in the foundry and this investigation in order to trigger the cutscene that'll let us continue on. What? Is something wrong? I thought I'd better give you a word of advice. Even if you're representing the mayor, at the end of the day, you are all still civilians. We cannot have you wandering around here in the middle of our investigation. Who do you think you're talking to? Your advice seems rather more like a threat. I'm just saying you need to know your place. But if you're so adamant about investigating the matter, then do it after we've cleared out of here. If we get any more trouble out of you, then I'm going to have to give you a personal invitation to jail. Forget about it, Estelle. There's no use arguing with these gentlemen. Ah! For an ass in a lion's skin, you sure know how to throw your weight around, Mr. Soldier. What did you just say? May I ask what's going on here? Colonel? For a soldier in the prestigious Royal Army... wow, words. For a soldier in the prestigious Royal Army to be threatening our good citizens. This is an outright embarrassment to us all. But these aren't just civilians, sir. They're members of the Bracer Guild. Oh, is that so? Then I ask you once again, what is going on here? The army is supposed to be working closely with the guild. What do you intend to accomplish by being rude to our allies? But as far as the general is concerned... Ah yes, that side of the general really concerns me. I'll take over the investigation from here, so please, take your men and clear out. But, sir... Your men have been here since early this morning, so I presume that a sufficient investigation has been conducted by now, yes? I'll smooth things over with the general later. Is there anything else you wish me to address? No, sir. Alright, men, pack it up. We're returning to the Hacken Gate. Looks like that's that. It seems that some of our personnel were rather impolite. Please, allow me to apologize. I appreciate the gesture. But we made some slightly inflammatory remarks as well, so how about we let bygones be bygones? That suits me just fine. As I stated before, the army is supposed to be working closely with the guild. I think our two organizations working together grants us each the ability to make up for the other's shortcomings. I'm looking forward to any progress you've made with this recent series of events. Thank you. We'll do what we can. He seems like a decent guy. Yeah, I wonder who he is. Colonel, it's almost the appointed time. Oh, already? Excuse me, but it appears I must take my leave. Oh, but before I do, it looks like I haven't properly introduced myself. I am Alan Richard, a colonel in the Royal Army. If there's anything I can do to assist you, please don't hesitate to contact me. Colonel Richard. I feel like I've heard that name somewhere before. Neil was the one who mentioned his name earlier. He said something about him being a sharp young officer who leads the Royal Army's intelligence division. Oh, right. Wow, for someone in the military, he sure knows how to listen to others. Probably in his mid-30s, and he's not hard on the eyes either. Seems like he's more fit to be a politician than a service member in the army. Hey, you guys. Who's that you were just talking to in the black uniform? I could swear I've seen him somewhere before. Are you trying to tell me you didn't recognize him at all? That was Colonel Richard of the Intelligence Division. You know, the guy you mentioned earlier. What? You're not pulling my leg, are you? As fun as that would be. Nope. He said so himself, so I'm fairly confident he is who he says he is. To think that the legend himself would show up here. We can't wait around here like this any longer, Dorothy. Let's see if we can catch up to him. Aye, aye, sir. Although I'm really not sure why we're chasing after anyone. Did you see his eyes light up? I wonder if he's going to do an interview or something. Anyone else in the army would brush him off, but I'm sure the colonel will oblige him. What's the matter with you, Olivier? You look serious, and I gotta say, I find it creepy coming from you. I was just thinking about the colonel. I'll be the first to admit that he's quite the specimen of a man, but... But what? I can say with confidence that he doesn't stand a chance against me when it comes to the ladies. But I'd like to see him try just a little harder. It's no fun without a romantic rival. You just had to ask, didn't you, Joshua? I'll regret it for the rest of my life. Alright, let's see here. Now that the soldiers are gone, how about we resume our investigation? Let's start by talking to all the people we couldn't talk to earlier. Good idea. Okay, wow. So I guess we will do another sweep of South Block in the next part, in order to finish up this investigation and then move on to whatever it is that we're going to be doing after that. So yeah, I will see you then.